Hey guys, I'm coming to you a little bit sick today. I apologize if my voice is like bleh. I'm gonna try to get through this without ang the entire time. We'll see how that goes. See, there it goes. Let's just, yep, okay. I would have waited to get better before filming this, but I'm running out of days that I'm gonna be home. I really wanted to show you my brand spanking new beautiful TBR shelf. Well, the shelf is not new, but the way I arranged it is, and it is beautiful. Here's a very quick tour. Basically, I got to a place where I was super happy with the way that my shelves looked, so naturally I had to completely reorganize them again. I'd never been interested in having a TBR shelf before. I didn't really find it necessary. I was just kind of like, meh. But then I was watching a whole bunch of my watch later playlist and came across Lainey's, Ginger Reed Lainey's Ribsat Read Your Bookshelf-a-thon wrap up, and I was like, you know, I could probably never do that because my two read books are all mixed in with my read books, and so if I did that, I would probably be rereading a whole bunch of stuff. Not all the books on my shelves are things I'm in the mood to reread. And so I figured, you know, I should just do it. I should just do the TBR shelf thing. So I did, and I'm really happy with it because when I see them all together like this, it's just so much more motivating. Like, seeing it visually is just nice, I guess. It's easier for me to keep track of how many there are too. If I counted correctly, there are 38 unread books behind me, which is like a decent pile. It's a large enough pile that it's like, okay, I want to get through a good chunk of those this year. But it's not such a big pile that it's like, ah! Yeah, it seems like this is quite the year of the TBR discussion. Like, everyone's talking about TBRs recently and like trying to trim them down and all this other stuff. And so I figured I would jump in and give my tips for maintaining a decently sized TBR pile that's not overwhelming. Step 1, get rid of some stuff. This is optional, of course. If you just cleared out your shelves, then maybe you don't have this problem. But if you haven't cleared them out in a while, chances are there are a few books on there that you don't want anymore, that you don't care about, and that you maybe never read. Don't feel bad about getting rid of those. Just get rid of them. Cut down your TBR to a place where you actually have all books that you know you want to read. Step 2, figure out how much you even care about cutting down that number of your TBR in the first place. If you really don't mind having a huge pile of books in your house that you haven't read, then bam, you're already done. Congratulations, you can just go about your life and never worry about this. But if you are the kind of person like me, for example, that likes to have a little bit more of an even ratio of like how much I'm reading compared to how much I'm buying, then make yourself a few strategies, such as step 3, which is change up your ratio. By that I just mean, like, maybe right now you're reading 2 for every 5 that you're buying or something like that. Just switch up those numbers to something that works a little bit better for you. Like maybe read 3 and then every time you do that you can buy 1, which I've seen is popular, or 5 to 1 is popular. It really just depends on how many books you're trying to get through, or you just know that you're not going to be able to go more than 3 books without buying one. Just figure out something that works for you. Step 4, designate some library reads. A lot of us do this thing where we go on to a used bookstore or we go on to Book Outlet and we find a whole bunch of books that we don't actually care that much about but kind of look interesting, and it's $2, so I mean, why not? And then it sits on your shelf for about 10 years. Instead, maybe just like put that on your Goodreads TBR or write it down somewhere and then just get it from the library whenever you feel like reading it. That way, you're still gonna be able to read it, but it's not taking up shelf space for stuff that you really want. Plus, libraries are just awesome. Like, use your library, it's great. Step 5, stay away from temptation. If you're at a point where you're not allowed to buy something yet, just don't go to any of your usual bookish haunts, because if you are really close, like you're at 2 out of your 3 books, then you suddenly decide to go on the Book Outlet just to search out, see what you might get very soon once you finish that next book, and then whoops, you ended up buying 6. What happened? Don't. Just stay away as best you can, and it's gonna be helpful. The nice thing about this too, if you can keep it up, is that every time that you are allowed to buy a book, it's suddenly gonna be such a treat, and every time you are allowed to finally go into that used bookstore, onto those websites, again, it's gonna be like such a special thing. Like, yes, I earned that. Step number 6, slip up, allow exceptions, and don't worry about it. Most of us in BookTube have book buying problems, which means that no matter what we do, there are going to be times where we still end up buying too many books, and that's fine. When it comes right down to it, it's good to have goals about your TBR, but it's still your life and your money and your hobby, and so if you end up going a little bit over, it's really okay. Besides, there are plenty of great ways to make up for it later by doing wonderful things like Step 7, readathons, reading sprints, and community events. One of the most fun things I discovered through BookTube was just the whole idea of a readathon, and it's so much fun. And a lot of them have really nice challenges and stuff involved so that you might like get some stuff off your TBR that you've been putting off, which then of course brings me to Step 8. Have some goals or challenges or whatever to keep you on track and keep you excited about what you're reading. I guess this shouldn't really be Step 8 because having goals and challenges for yourself is helpful right from the beginning, but yeah, I just want to really mention it. If you're the kind of person that's like super competitive and you love having like these ridiculously crazy goals, then do that. There's like 0 by 16, for example, which is trying to get your TBR down to 0. Or if you're the kind of person or reader that doesn't like a big monstrous goal but a bunch of really small ones, that's fine. And then of course, more on the challenge side rather than the goal side, you could make a TBR jar. Putting some different random challenges in a jar, it'll spice things up a little bit and possibly get some books off your TBR that you might not have had as the highest priority, but now you don't have to worry about them anymore. And finally, the most important thing to do to manage your TBR, no matter what way you want to tackle it, is to not force anything. Reading is fun. It's a hobby that we clearly enjoy a lot, and so if you don't feel like doing it, just don't. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on how to manage and maintain your TBR. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Chances are the next couple of things you see from me might be pre-recorded because I'm about to leave to go to Prague, which is crazy. But I am going to try to have at least something to show you during whatever time I need to settle in over there. But anyway, that is it for me. So this has been a discussion video. My name is Jackie, and I will see you guys pretty soon. Bye!